Hello, everybody. Happy July. My name is Alyssa. I am 34, and it is time to go over my income and expense report in YNAB for the month of June. So, I'm going to be sharing how much money I made, how much money I spent. I'm also going to go over an update for my 2024 financial goals, as well as a net worth update at the end of the video. So, if that interests you, keep watching. So, for income, pretty standard month. I first of all made $6,200 from my normal job. This was 4 weekly paychecks for me. I also received $115.24 from my high yield savings account interest, and I made an additional $375 from pet sitting. So all in all, I made $6,690.24 in the month of June. So let's go over my expenses, which were pretty hefty. And that was mainly due to my retirement contributions. So, long story short, I was shuffling some retirement accounts around and I wasn't actually transferring any money to those accounts. I was just saving while things were moving around. And then once everything was settled and I could contribute again, I made quite a hefty transfer towards my solo 401k account. And this is actually $800 more than it was supposed to be. It was $800 more than I had budgeted for in YNAB. I accidentally transferred $800 twice. That's fine. It had to come out of my next month fund, but that's fine. I just won't be able to invest that $800 towards July. So yeah, $11,250 towards my retirement last month. Pretty good. And then for taxes, I made a $3,500 tax payment for my quarterly taxes since I'm a 1099 contractor. And then my fulfillment category group, this is all of my fun money. I have been living it up and I'm still overspending. I give myself $100 a week in fun money now, and that's up from $75. I can't remember when I increased that. I think it was May. So I think June was my first full month of giving myself $100 a week, and I'm still overspending. That's fine. We can assess and increase it later if we need to, but I am obviously living it up, going out to eat a lot. This was definitely my highest spend month this year by far. Usually, I think my highest spend month was like $120 before. And yeah, so yeah, been going out to a lot of breweries, going out with friends, and no regrets at all. And then it was Father's Day this month, so this was contribution towards my Father's Day gift. And then personal care, what was this? Oh yeah, some face wash, stock up. And then my mom and I went to this comedy show / it was like a comedy cirque show. Listen, it was marketed. They spent a lot of money on their marketing, okay? They made it look like it was basically Cirque du Soleil mixed with like adult comedy. It was not. It was definitely, it was in downtown Nashville, like right off of Broadway. That should have been a red flag for me. It was definitely a tourist trap. It was absolutely not worth the money that we paid for it. What did we pay? $90 for a ticket and then $41 for 2 drinks, which that's fine. I expect drinks to be expensive at something like that. But let me just say, this show, I would have paid maybe $20 for it. I didn't laugh once. And the cirque part was like, I wanted more of that, I guess. And like maybe some more actual comedy. It was the worst of both worlds instead of being the best. So I can't recommend that. It was called Shiners. So if you ever go to Nashville and you are thinking about seeing a Shiners show, save your money. You're welcome. Anyway, so all in all, for fulfillment / fun, I spent $440.28. And then my essentials, these are basically my bills, my day-to-day expenses, kind of boring. I don't think we really need to go over too much, although this was my last bill payment for my surgery that I had last year. So I'm officially debt free. That was my last debt that I was paying off, and it was a 0% interest payment plan. So, yes, I will have an extra $364 every month to play around with. And yeah, all the usual stuff, kind of boring there. So, all in all, for my living expenses, I spent $1,249.02. And then for my car expenses, just gas. And I like to track my car expenses as its own category group so I can see how much I am spending on my car, like car insurance, registration, maintenance, all that stuff. So all that I spent last month was on gas. And I also received a $2.07 statement credit from my Chase card because they offer Chase offers. And I use that a lot when I go get gas. I double up and I use the Upside app and my Chase credit card. They often give like 3 to 5, sometimes more percent back. I've gotten 10% back on my Chase card before for gas. So yeah, I always double up on those and get a little credit back. So all in all, my total expenses for the month of June, this is probably my highest spend month ever in my life. I spent $16,478.58, which, like, obviously I didn't really spend that. It was a lot of transferring money to my retirement account. It was all money that I had saved and basically moved around. So I wasn't actually in the negative over $9,000. It was just, that's how my expenses compared to my income this month. So let's hop over to my 2024 financial goals and see how I did. Okay, so my first goal this year was to make $5,000 in extra income. So this does not include my normal day job. And like I said, I made that interest income, my pet sitting income, for a total of $490.24 in extra income. And look at this. I am so close to hitting this goal already. I will definitely hit it in July. So I might be on track to make like $9,000 to $10,000 in extra income this year, which would be absolutely amazing. I thought 5,000 was kind of a stretch goal for me, and clearly it wasn't. So we'll see. I don't think I will increase this for now. I will keep tracking it, but just really cool. I did not think that I would be hitting this quickly into the year. So for my next goal, it was to make $85,000 in gross income. And I set this goal at the beginning of the year when I was making $75,000 at my job. And then I also had set this $5,000 extra income goal. So this was supposed to be a stretch goal for me. But as you can see, we are halfway through the year and I am over halfway towards this goal. I will definitely hit this goal. And in fact, if everything keeps going as well as it has been with my extra income that I've been making, I could possibly hit like $90,000 this year, which would be just amazing. This is the most amount of money that I've ever made in my life. And I just can't stress enough how much setting these goals and tracking them every month has been so motivating for me. Like, I've never made goals like this before, and it's just really shown me how much every little bit helps. And yeah, I'm so excited to be making this happen for myself. And it gave me the motivation to ask for a raise earlier this year because I knew that I really needed that boost from my day job income to help me hit this $85,000 gross income goal. So yeah, if you guys haven't been setting goals, I highly recommend at least tracking and set a little goal. It doesn't have to be anything crazy or a stretch goal. Like, just make yourself a little goal, and I promise it every little bit helps, and it is so motivating to see. So yes, all in all, I have made $44,029.67, which puts me at 51.8% towards this goal. And my next goal is to invest $40,000 this year. So I finally was able to transfer everything that I had been saving since like mid-April, when I decided that I wanted to transition from my SEP IRA to a solo 401k. Had to kind of shuffle some accounts around, open new accounts, yada, yada, yada. So I finally made that transfer, and that put me at $28,800 towards this goal, which puts me 72% of the way there. So in the month of July, I will be hitting the $30,000 mark. And yeah, not much else to say here. I'm just really ecstatic. I'm so excited to actually be investing again. And yeah, let's move on to my next goal. So my next goal is to have a total of $100,000 invested across my investment accounts. And these are accounts that I am tracking towards my retirement goals. So I do have some cryptocurrency, but I don't count that within this goal because, yeah, I just choose not to view my crypto as counting towards my retirement just because it's so volatile and I don't know what's going to happen to it. It could go to zero, so I'd rather not rely on that. It's more of like fun money, I guess. So let's see where my accounts ended up in June. Okay, so my solo 401k, I added this brand new line for it because I finally was able to start investing into it in June. And that ended at $11,203.45, which is a little bit lower than I had invested. Obviously, the market went down a little bit after I invested, but that is totally fine. I'm so happy to be back to investing and getting this money into the market. And then my SEP IRA ended at $18,119.10. My Roth IRA ended at $42,732.01. My HSA ended at $9,198.01. And my brokerage accounts ended at $23,254.90, which puts me over the $100,000 mark already. So I have hit this goal. I've completed it. I am just so happy. This is such a big milestone that people talk about. They say reaching your first 100K invested is the hardest, but things speed up from here. This will turn into a snowball, and the gains in the market will start to feel more noticeable at this point. I also wanted to share this Reddit post that I found that kind of goes over. So this says, remember that $300,000 is halfway to 1 million in terms of the time it takes to accumulate it. So a lot of people think of 300,000 as 30% of the way to a million. But so this is saying if it takes you 8 years to get the first 300,000, it should only take you another 8 years to hit a million due to the effect of compounding interest. So I just wanted to put this out there to remind you that even if you're not at like 100,000, look at this, even if you have $33,000 in your investment accounts, you are 10% of the way to a million in terms of the time that it takes to get there. So right now I hit that 100K mark. So I'm at about 25% of the way to a million in terms of time. And yeah, I just thought that was like really motivating because it can seem so daunting to be like, okay, wow, 100,000 took me this long. I'm not even sure really how long it took me because I wasn't focused on investing for so long. And so, I mean, I guess technically it took me like 14 years because I just wasn't really super focused on it. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, like, it's going to go a lot faster now. Now that I have that $100,000 started, I have all of my habits formed and my priorities are set to invest as much as possible. So I should start seeing my progress speed up a little bit more. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for any of you who are also looking to invest and feeling like it's a daunting path to $1 million. There you go. Okay, so one last thing on this sheet I like to share is my annual retirement income as far as what is invested in my retirement accounts currently. So FIRE, this is Financial Independence Retire Early. This number is simply calculating 4% withdrawal rate of this number. This is what I would be able to withdraw per year if I retired. So this is cool. I reached the $4,000 a year mark. I say this every time, but obviously I cannot live off of that, but it's just a fun number to track and watch it go up. And then these next three numbers are coast-fi numbers. So this is calculating if I stopped completely today contributing to my retirement accounts and I just let this $104,000 grow until ages 67, 60, or 55, this is how much money theoretically I would be able to withdraw per year at those ages. So at 67, if I let these investments grow, I would be able to withdraw almost $39,000 a year. So this went up over $4,000 since last month because of that big contribution that I just made. So that is so cool. I'm so close to the $40,000 a year mark. And then for CoastFi at 60 years old, I would be able to withdraw $24,000. And at 55, I'm up to $17,000. So yeah, just fun metrics to track. My first goal is definitely to hit CoastFi at 67 at $60,000 a year. So I should, at this rate, be hitting that goal within the next 2 to 3 years. And yeah, I love seeing my progress on that. Even from the beginning of the year, I've already increased my retirement amount per year by $11,000 a year from all of the investing that I've done this year. So very fun. Okay, so let's do a quick net worth update. Okay, so as far as my assets, I ended with $23,819.47 in cash. And that is from my high yield savings account, checking account, and literal cash and gift cards that I have. So obviously a little bit lower because I made that huge $11,000 contribution to my solo 401k. And then I already went over the amounts for these accounts, so I will add those in. And then my crypto ended at a little bit lower, $15,254.64 for a grand total of $143,000 in assets. And then for my liabilities, my credit cards that I pay off the statement balance monthly, they ended at $1,722.39. My medical surgery bills are at $0. I have paid my surgery bills off, so I will be able to hide this line in my next video. So those ended at $0. And then my tax savings, since I'm a 1099 contractor, I just like to subtract the amount that I have saved towards my taxes from my net worth because I don't like to see the big jumps in my net worth every time I make a huge tax payment. So I just choose not to include that. So all in all, I have hit a new net worth milestone of $140,000 and some change. And that was an overall change of $4,355. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys were able to make some progress towards your goals in the month of June. Let's hit more of those goals in July. And I will see you guys in my next Budget With Me video very soon. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.